celebration time tonight. You know that. All right. Who was that first question? Who was that
I
first
have a question.
I'll do my best.
Okay, in the Holy Tablets, and you've read it to us on numerous occasions, that 6 ether is the death of 9 ether. Can you explain and elaborate on that? I mean, do we live out lives in 6 ether, or is what happens then, during that period?
What it is that you are the all, right? Right?
Sure.
Okay. So what is all experience, negative or positive?
Everything, all.
All. Okay. The one asking the question knows better than the one being asked.
So I guess what I'm saying is...
it goes around and around.
Okay.
9 ether, it descends into 6 ether. 6 ether descends into death. And then death emerges reborn again into 9 ether. When you look at the stars at night, what do they do every morning? They go down. Okay, the sun, what does it do every morning?
Yes, it comes up and then it goes down or appears.
Okay, so you are the sun. You are the sun. Son of man. S-O-N. That's men, women, and children.
Yeah.
So you rise, and then what do you do every night?
Set or go down.
You go down, only to do what the next morning again?
To rise again.
So you see how it works. You go from 9 ether to 6 ether to death, and then death resurrects again into 9 ether. You understand? It's cyclical. It cycles. Now you see?
Sure. Yes.
But now I'm here to get you out of the darkness of your life and bring you back into the light cycle. You understand? It's time for you to resurrect and wake back up and come out the cave, out the darkness, out the pit. You understand?
Yes.
It's the sunset. It's your time to shine. Get out of that grave, okay?
So, Amun, what you're saying that the devil is a part of the all as well?
Yes. But be quiet because he doesn't know it, okay?
Yes, sir.
That's what makes him the devil, because he doesn't know it. In his absolute ignorance, he doesn't know it. He's in darkness, and he imagines himself separate from the light. See, so the devil is an evil side. He's forgot he's a fallen angel. He's fallen away from the truth. So he imagines himself as separate from all, to the extent that he thinks he's at war with it. You understand? He thinks he's in opposition with the moon and the stars. So he don't believe his fate. He don't believe he is the moon. He don't believe he's you. He don't believe he's all. You see? So he thinks you can be his enemy. He can create enmity towards you. You see what I mean? But he don't understand. If he hurts you, he hurts himself. He really doesn't understand it. You understand?
So that's our ascension coming into that knowledge.
Yeah, the resurrection knowledge.
Yes.
To be reborn again. To come back to life. And become one with the life giver again. Instead of living in this perpetual darkness and death. To come back out to emerge from the resurrection from the grave of ignorance. It's the walking dead.
So,
but they know not.
So, to piggyback on what Salahuddin just said, so we are
all gods at the core.
Okay, we're gods. So
all of us, including the devil. But they're fallen. They're all, and you're all angelic beings, but some of you have fallen.
Okay.
And it's easier to discern if you think about falling to sleep rather than falling out of the sky.
So in our ascension to get back to ourselves or to come to ourselves.
Exactly. That's why I'm here. But the devil imagines that I'm an adversary and his heaven is hell, so he's fighting against me to keep you all asleep. You understand that? Because if everybody wakes up, what happens to him?
He goes away, he disappears, he doesn't exist.
That's right. Exactly. Precisely. So he thinks he's fighting for his own survival.
He also becomes powerless.
Exactly. He becomes powerless, irrelevant, non-existent, the incredible shrinking devil.
Exactly.
What ties in, dirt off. Ranu, I'm glad to hear your tone. Ranu, yeah. I'm glad to hear your Rahubat, I'm glad to hear your tone. They were just asking about the oneness. Go ahead.
So that which we aspire to be, we already are on a different vibration.
By nature, you already are potentially. Just like when you were 9 years old, you had the ability to move stars, but because you didn't know it, you couldn't. Are you following me?
Right. Tua.
But yes, you were God when you were 9, but you didn't know it. So you didn't know you could do that. You didn't know you could go through a wall, right?
Exactly.
You didn't know that you could know as much as you do now, you see?
But another person or being can be right here with me and not see the walls because they are my walls.
They can walk through the walls if they're with you, or they can't. Depends on how much if they're awake or not.
Okay, that part. Okay.
Because if they've fallen asleep, they think they're physical and the walls are physical, so they can't be breached. It's a barrier to them, you see? They really think this is real. They think they're their body. If their body's real, then so are the walls.
Right.
They think that the walls are solid and their body is solid, so they can't walk through them. You got it?
Tua.
But if your body was solid, what is an X-ray? What does it do?
It looks through it.
So if it was solid, how could they look through your body if it was solid?
Right. They couldn't.
You see how foolish this is?
Yes.
The whole thing is just dumb, isn't it? But there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain in this ignorance. My people suffer for lack of knowledge.
Rahubat, come on.
Yes.
Rahubat. My people suffer for lack of knowledge. A lot of people say what you don't know can't hurt you. That's a lie. What you don't know can and will hurt you. Yeah.
Yes.
Because a lot of people say over and over again, if I'd have known that, I never would have, you see, if I'd have knew that, I wouldn't have did that. I'd have made a different decision had I known that. Right. Exactly. I know that's right. Yeah. What you didn't know hurt you, didn't it? And it can hurt others. And they are you. And you are them. That's why when you move the moon, I put your face in it. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Because I want you to... Exactly, but you didn't know it, did you?
No, I didn't.
But you see, that means that you're me. But you didn't know it. You understand? So if you think that I'm separate from you, you understand? You think that... You see what I mean? You see where that's the problem, it's a little bit difficult. Just the difficulty is a root of the problem. You follow me?
Yes, it is.
That's where hell comes from. That's where devils live.
Wow.
In the darkness. But the truth is the light.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking. Time for thinking ahead.
Amun, how
Yes.
do you strengthen your psychic self-defense?
How do you do it? By staying in tune with reality. In other words, whenever you all move in stars, you live in London. When I make a mind link with you and you move stars, you know that you're not immortal, because even if your arms are long, they're not that long, are they?
No.
So you know that's not immortal. You know that's God moving stars. You're in a deity mode when you move stars, right? That is your psychic self-defense. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're God and you're all things and everywhere, what is there to fear?
Nothing.
Exactly. That is your psychic self-defense, to become one with all. That's why I tell you all that if you post up these posts, right, if you become a serious part of this mission, that is your sanctuary. That is your protection. Amun, Keeper, are you here?
Yes, I am. Rahu back.
Okay. Rahu back. Goddess, you called me today, and you had a headache, and I asked you to post up the post and what have you, but you had a headache. So you said you would, and I told you I would do what?
You would come to me with light.
Healing light. What did I do?
And you did that.
And then the headache
and I
went
felt
away.
better. I felt better. I went on and I went on and did that and posted the post and all my media.
Yeah, but what were you doing? You were working for the mission of the Most High. You were one with all, don't you see?
Yes. Yeah, because I went ahead and because even though I had the headache, I did go ahead, and just push through it and took care of what I needed to help out.
And then pretty soon you weren't suffering anymore, right?
No. And then you did tell me, that, being one with all, basically, just what you just said, doing what I'm supposed to do for the mission gets me where I'm supposed to be.
Because you see, when we were in heaven, we were all one with all. Isn't that the definition of heaven?
Yes.
And we cast ourselves out by having lower vibratory thoughts, right? And that created the illusion of being separate from all. And all is heaven. If you're separate from all in your mind, then where would you be?
In hell.
Exactly. And you would put other people in hell. You would be about hell. That would be your business, you see? Right?
I got a question.
I'll do my best.
Because I was thinking about this last night, and this is just, what does it actually mean to be of one divine mind? I mean, what is the thinking that you have to have on a constant basis to stay there, where power wants us to be?
The one that's asking the question knows better than the one being asked. Because you have an example in your midst right now. Who do you know that's an example of divine mind, of having, being one with the universal mind?
Amun-Rayay.
Exactly.
You?
Yes. But I'm not that all the time, but I'm becoming better and better, you see? Come on up here. When you move stars, you one with the universal mind. Because all can what? You can.
I can.
All does. Right. The Most High can move stars, but people can't. When you move in stars, you are not a person. First place, one of the divine attributes is omnipresence. That's how you can affect stars that are trillions of light years away, because you have to you raise up in consciousness and vibration. So not only can you walk through walls, but you can move stars way out there, just like you can move your finger at the end of your arm. You see? Because you become one with all. You see the whole purpose of the class? The whole purpose of the mission is to wake you all up again so you can return, ascend back up into the heavens. It's time for the sun to rise. Meaning the men, women, and children. You follow? Everything is cyclical. Like Ark was asking about 6 and 9 ether and death. He created the whole creation. In the holy tablets, he said, do you consider Kokab, the stars? How they rise and they set? The stars, the sun, for example, he says, it sets, it goes down at night, only to do what again in the morning?
To rise again.
Exactly. So
Which
you
is
all,
a delusion.
that's right. So you all fell down, and what time is it now?
Time to rise
Time to
again.
wake up.
Exactly.
raise up.
That's why I'm here, to help you remember who and what you really are. You got lost. You got cut off from that knowledge, and it hurt. It hurt us all, you see, because you can't do anything without affecting all. Some of you now, when you walk out in the night sky, you look up at the sky and stars start moving before you even think about it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is true. Because your higher self is thinking about it before the thought even hits your conscious walking wake mind. You're becoming one with all is what you're doing. You're beginning to wake up. But those of you that are asleep in this, so shall you be in the next. You will suffer the second death. You can't get off the karmic wheel of life. So you stay trapped in the cycle of life and death. I'm trying to pull you off the karmatic wheel, you see, snatch you out of this game. You know, like the cartoon when they get to fighting and they create a ball of dust and they try to get out and then the other one pull them back. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get you out of that mess.
Right.
And make you understand you're not that body. You're not that situation. You're only watching it happen from above. So therefore, when you go out tonight and I put your face in the moon and you can see you looking up at yourself in the moon, remember that you're looking down at yourself from the moon.
Amen.
You only watch it happen from above, don't you see?
Yes.
There's a method to the madness. And people want to know, why do we have to move stars every class? Because you're exercising a spiritual muscle that's become latent inside of you. It's becoming atrophy. Remember I told you if you sit in a wheelchair for 10 years and then try to get up and run around the block, it won't work. You'll fall. Your muscles have gotten weak. Your spiritual muscles haven't been being exercised, have they?
No.
Well, have they?
No.
Not in this physical world. And even when you use that God factor, you don't realize it because they put you under hypnotic spell. So when you tell evil sight that they have a third eye, or you have a third eye, they say you crazy. Why? Because they can only see two, right?
Right.
But if you say, look at my face, and look at it good, and then tell them, okay, you got it? They say, yeah, now close your eyes. Can you still see my face if you want to? They're going to say, yeah, if they're honest. And ask them, how you seeing my face and both your physical eyes are closed? The same way you see the sun in a dream at night, you see?
Right.
Or haven't you noticed that when you dream and you travel to places, a lot of times it's daytime, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where does the light come from? You see, you're the one that said, let there Sabbath and Noah. You said, let there be light. Theat lux, in Latin, let there be light. You said it. You're the one that created the light from out of the darkness, the vast void, the vast extent. You said, let there be light, and so there was. If I ask you all right now to close your eyes, you see that blackness right there? Now, while your eyes are closed, I want you to imagine and visualize the sun on the brightest summer day you can remember. You were driving your car, or walking, or riding a bike, whatever, and then you turned the corner, and that sun hit you in your eyes so bright it almost blinded you. Remember that?
Yes.
You see that bright? That was so bright, wasn't it? In your eyes.
Yes.
But your eyes are closed and it's dark. Well, who's creating that light right now?
I am.
We are.
That's right. The same one moving the stars. So gradually, by increments, you're starting to remember that you're God. Now, my question is, if you one with all, that means all your brothers and sisters are also one with all, right?
Right. Yes.
Or part of the body Christ, however you describe it. So that when you wake them up, you waking up. You understand what you're doing? Just like if you harm them, do you know what you? If you harm them, you know what you're doing.
You're harming yourself.
You're harming. Exactly. And if you help them, you're helping yourself.
Yeah.
So, do unto your brothers and your sisters as you would what?
Have them do unto you.
Them to do unto you.
Exactly. But to the devil, he thinks, do unto others before they do unto you. You see the difference?
Big difference.
They think like Marquis. They think like Marquis the Love. They're crazy. These things are sick, and they're a cancer in the system. Don't you see?
Yes, it is.
They have to be eradicated. They have to be eradicated because all they're doing is they're a poison in the system. You see what I mean? Toxic. And they're like a bull in a china shop. Every time they turn, stuff is crashing and breaking. You understand what I'm saying? But they know not. Because they think they're individuals. And they can hurt you without hurting themselves. That's what they think. But if your thoughts can move the stars, people walking around your neighborhood and in your house, they don't think that your thoughts affect them or they affect you. Are they crazy?
Exactly.
They got to be crazy. Because people can move you with thoughts have substance. Don't you know that? Like I said, if you get in the car with me and I drive you, we go to old lady's house and I send you in to do some business. Should take you 10 minutes, but you come back in 30 seconds. I said, what's the matter? I said, they do anything insult you? Said, no. That old lady said everything right. I heard what she said. Oh, baby, I'm so glad to see you. And that. You heard what she said, but you felt what she meant, didn't you?
Exactly.
She was saying all the right things, but you knew that she didn't mean. You could feel it.
Okay,
What's the matter with her?
part.
I didn't say nothing to her. I didn't say nothing wrong. Yeah.
The feeling. How do we consistently tap into that feeling? Because I know that's
you don't
how
have
we're
to tap
creating.
into it. Very good. You don't have to tap into it. You can raise up in vibration and become one with it. And when you're God, it's a permanent state, don't you see?
So, to say,
let me see. If you ever see a school of fish on TV, and when one turns this way, they all shimmer and turn the same way, the exact sign, like they got birds. It's like they got one mind, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think to yourself, why all of them know what that lead bird's going to do? How do they know to turn left? It's like they one thing. 1,000 of them, they make the move at the same exact instant, synchronized.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they got one mind, right?
Right.
How do all the birds know to follow the lead bird south so none of them freeze to death in winter? They just know. They don't all have to know which way south is. Only one of them does. But the rest of them have to know which bird knows. And all they have to do is follow him, and they're all saved, don't you see? It's a pyramid structure.
Yes.
That's the way the Creator planned it. Everybody doesn't have to know the way, but everybody has to know who knows.
Right.
So if you follow false Christ and false gods, you're going to end up in hell, don't you see? They're leading people to hell, don't you know that?
Yeah.
But the way this world is programmed so that they make lying devils rich, and the real thing is struggling all the time, don't you see?
So
because of their ignorance, they're asleep, and so they don't want to support the truth, but they support the lie, and they reward them like kings and queens. Like Donald Trump, they give him millions of dollars a day, and when he cares about humanity, it's zero. He don't love y'all. He wishes death on most of you.
Tell me about the Antichrist.
That's right. But the devils reward him for that because they imagine him to be their God, don't you see? Their Messiah.
But I'm sorry to get back to the feeling because I want
the messianic figure. Okay, go ahead.
I want the feeling. When I have a feeling about something, it's like it's a gut feeling.
And that is your psychic self-defense.
And something
because you
that
raised up your vibe. Okay. But the thing is, when you don't always have that. Just like sometimes you're in a crowded house, and they could be talking in the living room, and then you go into the kitchen to make some lemonade or whatever, and when you come back, you stand in the doorway and you just look at all the people because you don't want to say anything, but you just like deja vu. You've heard that conversation. You've seen that before. You know what everybody's about to say. You've experienced that before. That scene.
Right.
But you know, if you say anything to them, they're gonna start trying to change it up to make you look like a fool, right? So you just stand there for an instant, and you stand on the edge of time, and you just look at that. You see and experience it, right? And you don't usually tell anybody, but sometimes you might say, "You're not gonna believe this, but I experienced this before."
Yes.
They call it deja vu. Right?
Right. But
doesn't it seem? Yeah. There's another word for it too. I'm trying to think. I'm fishing for it.
Yeah, it's deja vu, but I guess I'm trying to find the words to express what I'm trying to say or feeling.
I understand your question directly about the feeling, but the feeling comes to you when you become one with all. Then you can feel everybody's mind. So the old lady says the right things to you, but you feel what she really means. That means that you can hear what she's thinking, not just what she's saying. But she doesn't know it. That's why she's confused when you walk away. So I didn't say nothing bad to that child. I said all the right things to her. But you meant negative thoughts toward her though, you see? And she felt it. It's like when you read the book with the fly, remember? You enter the book, you read it, and the fly starts pestering you, but you're so interested in the book, you try to ignore the fly. But it gets braver and braver until you say no, and you put the book down, pick up the fly swatter, but as soon as you do, what does the fly do then?
It goes away.
And then when you put the fly swatter down and pick the book back up and start reading, what does the fly do then?
It comes back to bother.
Can't you see the fly is reading your mind? He knows when you're dangerous, and he knows when you don't present a threat. Right?
Right.
But people that don't have that spidey sense or whatever that feeling, as you say, they walk around the world in a perpetual landmine because they're walking in darkness, don't you see? You understand me? They're not really safe, are they?
They're not.
Sometimes
That's what I'm saying.
also the other way.
They don't have any higher. They don't have. They're not using their higher senses.
Okay.
That is just psychic self-defense. You've had that, just like you tell your friends, okay, we're going to go out at 10 o'clock tonight to a certain place. You get dressed and all that, and then when they come to the door, you say, I'm sorry, but I changed my mind. What's the matter? I don't know, I just got a feeling, that's what you call it, right, a feeling. I just got a bad feeling about it, a feeling, right?
Yes. Sure.
Yes. And they leave you, but then you see on the news the next day it was a shooting at the club, you see?
Right.
And you say,
Right.
something told me, and that one time you followed your first mind, you see?
Right.
I knew I should have followed my, but that's one time you obeyed God, you see? And you were saved by it. Everybody going for a joyride, and you decide, and you normally would, but this time you say, no, I don't want to go. I'm not going. What's the matter? I just don't, listen, I don't feel, I'm not going right now, And they get arrested or get in an accident, and you say, right, I knew it. That's what you say, right? I knew it.
Right.
You didn't know what it was, but you knew not to go, didn't you? You felt it.
Right.
It was just something you felt. That's all.
So that would be like psychic self-defense too, wouldn't it?
That's exactly what it is, psychic self-defense. Only the real question is you want to know how to stay there all the time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because when you're not there, you're in danger, don't you? You're mortal then, right? That means, just like your physical eyes, you can't see past the floors, walls, and ceilings. But if you activate God and use your mind or your third eye, you can see through the wall. You can see through what people say and see into what they mean. You can see everything with the third eye. With God, the eye of God can see everything.
Yes.
God knows
and
what.
One thing that
right.
Everything.
Right. And if you want to know, like Amun was saying, she wanted to know, in essence, how do you know somebody is one with the universal mind or nine mind? Well, if I'm in Millersville, Georgia, in a bedroom, and it's dark and I close my eyes, and I make a mind link with Cheryl in London, or George in Ghana, Africa, and I can see the stars that they see, and we move them together, and I'm looking at what they look at, isn't that the universal? Or if I can move the entire creation, everything in the sky. Or Cheryl is waking up, because now she's starting to see the whole hologram, the whole matrix move. She's seeing the trees and the buildings move now, you understand? She's starting to wake up to that it's not real. She's creating that light inside of her own mind. And now she's having periods of just darkness, don't you see what I mean? Because that's supreme balancement. That is the original state. Everything is black. Light was, he said, let there be light. But when did he say, let there be darkness?
Never.
When? Never. Because darkness is. You understand?
Yes.
And regardless of your outside appearance or what you think is physical, if we stand in a gymnasium, all of us together at 3:30 in the morning, and it's pitch black, triple darkness, there's no judgment because we can't see who's fat or who's ugly or old or whatever, raggedy. So we're minds. And if we all stand in that darkness long enough, you merge into it again, and you don't know where your body ends or the darkness begins. You understand?
Correct.
You become one with all. And there's no more judgment, no more adversity. Oh, I don't like her. She's raggedy or ugly, or he's old or fat. You understand?
So I have a question.
Because light created the chaos. Okay, go ahead.
So when I misplace my keys or something, or I misplace an item, and then
in your mind, you're never lost.
And I ask myself, I talk to myself, I say, you know where the keys are. Show me where the keys are. And I'll sit there for a few minutes. And then I'll go straight to the key. So everywhere.
Where were they? There is no out there. The keys were always in the middle reservoir. They're always in your mind. Everything is in your mind. So people make the mistake of keep searching outwardly for it. And they have problems when they should just sit down and calm themselves, close their eyes, and trace back into their mind and think to themselves, when was the last time I had the keys in my hand? Okay, and then what did I do? What did I do? And then you just trace, and you just find the keys in your mind. They're never lost, don't you see?
Exactly.
Everything been in there all the time. The reason people come to me is because they want the answers that they know that they deserve.
Exactly.
They don't want to be lost anymore. They want to find the keys to open up the gates to him. You understand?
Yes.
Everybody down here has kind of lost their keys, and they're trying to find them again. And I'm just here. I was sent as a servant to help you all find your way back home. That's all. To try to light your path back to the Most High, back to heaven, you see?
So this is another question to find.
Yes.
You're helping us to find our way back home, so we have until 2030, and you won't be able to help us find for those of us that don't?
No, because school is over. The Creator knows that by then you've had enough time to make the right decision. See, He already knows what you are. You forgot, not Him.
Right.
So, what He's charged you with is the responsibility of finding your own way back home and back to Him without ever seeing Him again or seeing heaven. You understand? Because He knows if you activate your God senses, you can only find Him with your third eye, with your intuition, and with your sight. You understand what I mean?
Sure.
You can't find Him with a physical map out there. Remember I told you, Reverend Rib, Deacon Pork Chop, Pastor Fried Chicken, or say things like, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things yet unseen. Through faith or belief, we understand that the worlds, sun, moon, and stars in your hand and form were formed by the Word of God. The Word of God. To say to a thing be, and it is. So that things that are seen were not made by things which do appear. But they never explained it because they don't know. They just reciting words to sound holy. Young with forthwith art thou. But faith is belief, and it's the substance. Substance is what a thing is made of. The substance of a car is not metal and rubber and leather and oil. It's thought. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things yet unseen, because at that point you didn't have that car. But you kept thinking about it until you manifested it. And you went outside and it was parked in the driveway, remember? But it's like that apartment complex. It wasn't made out of bricks and water and lumber. It was created in the mind of whoever conceives of the thought, don't you understand? Anything you can conceptualize, you can visualize, materialize, actualize, and thereby realize. First is the thought that creates the energy that shapes the forms of matter. You're creating things mentally so that when you go outside at night, and I say, can y'all see that moon up there? Can you point to it? And you say, it's right there. You point to it. I said, okay, that was created. Now point to the creator that put it there. Can you do that?
No.
No, because the creator is unseen. But if I ask you which is realist in an intelligent mind, the creation or the creator of it, what would be your answer?
The creator of it.
The creator.
Okay, but you just said that the unseen is realer than the seen, and now you know it.
Yeah.
Because the creator is unseen. That would mean as above, so below. So that means the parts of you that I can't see, third eye, are realer than the parts of you that I can. In other words, the muscle matrix of your third eye is much more powerful and dynamic than your physical eyes, right?
Yeah.
Because your arms can't move stars, but God can inside the temple. The kingdom of heaven is where?
Within.
Right, so why are people looking outward to create heaven? And always frustrated because they wake up in hell, millionaires committing suicide. Because they realize heaven wasn't in $1 million. And then they get old and on a colostomy, and they use the bathroom with a bag on their side in a wheelchair, 85 years old, but they got millions of dollars. What? They know they've been lied to, right? This shit ain't hell, ain't heaven.
Right.
Money's not heaven. But while they're asleep, they place money above the Creator. They place, that's mammon. That's why you can't serve God and mammon at the same time, because either you love the one and hate the other, don't you see?
Sure.
So to those of you that are neither hot nor cold, I spew you out of my mouth. All these things starting to make more sense to you now, right? It's starting to get clearer. It's not just rambling anymore, like it's not just faith or something. You know, all that religious stuff they say, like do unto others you would they do unto you. It's starting to make more sense now, right?
Right.
That means you're waking up. I don't think you heard me. I said Cheryl is moving the trees and the buildings too with her mind. That means they're all in her what? They're in her mind. You see? So she's becoming one with the universal all. That is her protection. And the way she can build that link and make it stronger is by working for the light, by working for the Most High, for working for this mission. That's what Amun-Rayay was saying to you all earlier. She was suffering with headache and all kinds of distress, but when she started working for the mission, her whole energy, her whole thing changed. She was in heaven. I could feel it. The first time I talked to her, she was blackbuster and depressed and, you know, just not with it. When she called back, she was just up in the high vibration. She was in heaven, energetic and happy. You know what I mean? You could see the difference. It was day and night.
You can feel it.
It shows you how powerful it is.
Oh, it is powerful. Powerful enough to move the whole creation.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is that you all will do greater things than I. And you're evolving. That's why Cheryl is moving buildings and trees now. Because she's waking up to the reality that that's not reality. It's only in her mind. That's why she can close her eyes and go to sleep at night just like all the rest of you. And dream you in another city. that you're in Ohio or you're in Tennessee or you're in this place or that place, when you wake up in the morning and your body never left the bed, your head never left the pillow, right?
Right.
Girl, I was in Michigan last night. I was with that nigga I was with this, or I was trying to run and get him. It was a crazy person trying to stab me with a knife, and I kept trying to run. The faster I tried to run, it's like I was running in mud. I couldn't hardly get away. And he woke up sweating and all scared, heart beating and palpitating, a nightmare. Right? And there was some reality to that because your mind is creating reality. Because if it had only been a dream, you'd have woke up dry. Just dreaming you were sweating. Don't you understand? So you have to learn to mind your mind for the jewels of your soul, because what you think, like old people used to tell you, little boy, little girl, you better quit saying that. You're going to make that come true, yeah? Right?
Right.
You thought they was crazy? No. And it wasn't mystical or anything, but they had been so old and experienced life so long that they had started noticing that whenever they was repetition with something over and over again, it would happen. Just like if you look at that show about Press Your Luck. If everybody keeps saying, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, womp, womp, the whammy comes up, right? Because you're one with all. And when you look at the stars, they just move. So when you keep saying whammy, whammy, all is here is whammy. And you create it like that car in your driveway, don't you see? Womp, womp. So you creating heaven and hell with your own mind. But if you don't know that, you'll be constantly creating hell all the time. And you'll be thinking it's coming from outside. Somebody putting me in hell. It's because of that nigga or her or that. Something has put me in hell. It's you. But it's funny when people do good things and they come out good, they claim credit for it. I did that. That goodness came from me. But they try to separate themselves from the evil they do. Or the evil that happens in their life. That wasn't them. That didn't come out their mind. But it did.
I have a question.
I'll do my best.
If the all is the all, then how does that apply to evil?
Okay, if the all is the all, how does it apply to what?
To evil.
To evil?
Evil. E-V-I-L. Evil.
Okay, very good question. Where did the evil come from? Because all is divine love. All is divine love. Everything else is mere illusion. Like this world. This world is mere illusion. Ask Cheryl. When she's moving the buildings and trees with her mind, like the stars, she should be recognizing now that the world is not real. It's illusion. So evil is an illusion. This illusion is evil. So, when you fell from grace, in other words, we were all in harmony and one with all, so we were all living in divine love. But when you created adversarial thoughts and saying no to the Most High, which is you, your own higher self, then you separated yourself consciously from all. That was the fall of man. And when you separate, or imagine yourself separate from all knowledge, all love, all life, and all these things, then you fall into the opposite of it, you see? I.e. hell. You were cast down to hell.
So the place that we don't remember, or the place that we fell from. Excuse me, and I didn't mean to cut you off if I did. I'm sorry.
No, but it's not a place. It's a condition.
And so it's
because heaven is everywhere, just like the Most High. Go ahead.
So it's something attainable in the physical reality.
Say it again. Slow down and talk a lot louder. Let me hear you.
So the place that the return or the memory or the condition, excuse me, is what you said. That is something that's attainable in the physical realm? Like that's something we're going to experience in the physical?
Yes. See, that's part of your test. In other words, what you asked me just then is, Amun, do I have to die to go to heaven?
Yeah.
The answer is no. No, you don't. It's a condition. It's mental. So you can become Ilamutajazat or an avatar. You can be divine incarnated in flesh. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Like a Jesus. You think Jesus was walking the earth in hell?
No.
He was in heaven because of his mind state. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can be in poverty when you're a child, and then you have so much love in your home and a loving social around you that you don't even know you're poor. Do you understand? You don't know you're poor, so you don't experience the feeling of hell. Until the devil reveals to you your shame or your nakedness, you see? Who told you you were naked? Who told you you were poor? The devil revealed it to you. Just like you say, indigenous tribes in Africa and the Amazon, they walk around in that hot weather naked. Men, women, and children. And it's a beautiful thing. It's nature, because every part of their body serves a purpose. So their private parts are just like their feet and hands that serves a purpose, right? It's a part of nature. But then you have these people coming from these big magazines and National Geographic, and they go into the interior and they want to film it and all that. And then the Mandingo men jumping up and down, and their penises tapping against their belly and all of them down, and the women jumping down their breasts, and then the white people looking at them and staring at them at certain parts of their body, and it makes them shame. They feel shame for the first time. So they want to get a feeling. They want to cover themselves up, don't you understand? Just like if you walk into a house at a family reunion, you're barefoot, you're comfortable. But everybody keeps staring at your feet, just staring at your feet. You become self-conscious. You know, damn, Mike. So next thing you know, you got socks on, the little slippers, you're covering up your feet. Why? Because they got you uncomfortable. They're staring at your feet too much. You understand what I mean? Who told you you were naked? Who told you you was poor? Don't you know it's all mental? In Africa, when it's over 100-something degrees every day, people live for thousands of years without air conditioning. You think they were hot? No.
No.
It was their natural. It was just that's the way it was. They wasn't hot. But now, white people have introduced air conditioners over there. Now niggas hot. If they don't have an air conditioner, they hot now. You understand? Who told them they was hot? I'm asking you, who told them they were hot? They didn't know they was hot. They was just living. When you see pictures of Africans in the wild, they're not walking around sweating, they're just walking around.
True.
That's right. It's nature, natural nature. But if you put them in air conditioning and you artificially drop the temperature, then if they walk out of the air conditioning back outside, all of a sudden they hot. You understand? Oh, it's hot out here. I can't take it. You better take. What do you mean? Who told you it was hot? That's just the weather. That's normal. Now they all hot. Who told them they was hot? Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, one thing here. When you go to the door in the wintertime, if you live in the north like heaven does in Chicago, or Amun in Ohio right now. And it's wintertime, December or January, in the middle of the night, somebody knocks at the door. You go to the door in your nightgown, and you open the door, and you just crack it. And that cold wind comes. You know how that cold wind will hit you through that door? And then, you get that little chill, and then you go to bed, go back to bed, and you wake up the next morning sniffling, right? And what's the matter with you? Oh, so-and-so came in the door, and I let him in, and that wind hit me, and I got sick. I started having a cold. You remember that? But then you go out to a football game, and it's freezing cold outside, rain and sleet. You enjoying yourself, focusing on the game. You come back home, and you don't suffer no ill effects at all. Or you could be in a place like New York or Chicago, and the traffic is heavy, all on the street, cars blowing horns, and all kind of niggas throwing wine bottles and shooting and cutting, all that noise, and you go, you go right to sleep and wake up and go to work. You go to sleep because you're used to it. But if a faucet starts leaking, drip, 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 it'll drive you crazy, keep you woke all night, right? How is that possible? It's all in your mind. Mind your mind for the jewels of your soul. So what is your question?
I have a question.
Okay.
These beings that are coming in, and they are part of us from the future. How many fingers we got, and how do we look?
Okay. So, beings that come here, like extraterrestrials, they are
beings that come here, they are us from the future. How many fingers we got, and how do we look?
How many what?
How many fingers we got, and how do we look? Because half of them look pretty rough, Moon.
I understand, but you have to go to the holy tablets where everybody's shifted from electron, photon, neutron grid to neutron, electron, proton grid, right? But where's that at in the holy tablets again? But are you there? Good time. Somebody tell me. Nobody knows? Okay. Try to find it for me while I'm talking. Say it again.
All right. I'll go for it.
Okay, thank you. I know Pachal knows, but he just probably left the phone. All right. So what is your question again? I was going to give it to you from the Most High's words, but you get it from mine.
Yes, sir. I was saying that, certain things that come here, they us from the future. And some of them look pretty rough, Moon.
I understand, because you see, the only thing constant is change. You hear me? Change is the only thing constant. And the reason that's relevant is because without change, there would be no time, there could be no illusion of creation. That's why people go from old to young or create the illusion of it. But you're not old or young, you are. You're not that body. You're God, and God can't age. God is. But change is in physical. So that in time, 25,000 years in the future, you all have evolved into different beings. Because with the shift, the earth became much hotter, and you all begin to develop gills again so that you can go to the water to survive, because it was too hot on the land. And you evolved and developed a third lens. So you can drop like a frog or a snake or an alligator, a reptile, and it's like, or a gray. And so you can cover it up, your eye can blink, and it's a black sheet like sunglasses over to keep the glare of the sun from blinding you. You understand?
Yes, sir, but it looks pretty rough, Moon.
It is rough, because you see, you all celestial travelers now and UFOs, and you're out in space where there's not no gravity, so that your muscles start deteriorating, but you get much more intelligent. So you have real thin, skinny bodies and big, giant cranium heads, don't you see? And you know where you got the black eyes. Okay, let me show it to you in a different way. When a woman is pregnant and she's carrying a baby to term, in the first 3 months, which is actually the second trimester, because the baby is 12 months when born, not 9. You can ask me why later. But okay, the first trimester, the baby is a zygote. You can see, look at the fetus. It has a tail like an alligator's curled with claws. You see it in your mind? It's got that little parched marble belly, and it's got the alligator tail, and it's got claws. In the second trimester, it's a Roumarian or a gray, and it's got gray-looking skin and a big giant head like a gray. It looks like a gray, right, with that big giant head. At first, it had a head like a reptile. And then in the third and final trimester, which is actually the fourth, it becomes a Homo sapien, a human baby, which is a hybrid or a cross between a reptile and a gray. You understand? So you already are those things, don't you see? The gray is
It looks rough, though. It looks rough.
It is rough. You got some rough-looking people, Doc. But you don't have to turn into a reptile or a gray. You already are that. Let me show you the gray. When you put a Band-Aid on and leave it too long, and then you take it off, you see how your skin turns gray? You see that? Or the reptile. Women carry a fetus in the amniotic fluid. My water broke, so the baby's breathing underwater with gills. That's a reptilian thing, don't you see? And when you're born, like right now, you all can look at the back of your hand real close, and you see little diamond-shaped things in it, in your skin, don't you? That used to be scales, but they're soft now. What do they say women smell like in their vaginal? Like fish. Right? The joke about the blind man walking past them women, and he thought he was a fish market, and he said, blind, tipped his hand and said, good morning, ladies. Everybody laughed because he thought the fish smelled like women. Right? When you scratch in your head, some people have heavy dandruff, and you scratch those flakes off and they start dropping. That dandruff is scales. Look at it. You understand?
It's not a beautiful thing, though, Moon.
It's not. But beauty is the eye of the beholder. You got to remember, to a monkey, its baby is beautiful. Are you following me?
I follow.
What I'm saying is, like Malachi was saying, you have to get over that physical exterior appearance. You might be on a craft with being like a giant spider sitting next to you. You can't be going, and all that, because it might be more intelligent than you. And then you got to remember, if that's the real species, the nature of it, you look just as crazy to him as he looks to you. Don't you see? Because when you raise to a certain conscious level of a woke, you become and that's what they fight against here is woke, right? When you become awake, then you know that you're all, what you have in common is you're all, in many outward manifestations. You're a spiritual being having a physical experience, that's all. You just discovered that you are a reptile and a gray already.
It looked kind of rough to me more than what I seen it.
Well, it is rough, but you got some rough-looking people, too.
What is that?
You hear me? Say it
How
again.
many fingers do we got to move? Do we got any fingers?
Well, some of them have 6 fingers and more. And that should
Which
make you
one?
what?
The agreeable one that has the agreeable one has the 6 fingers, and the agreeable one has the 3 fingers.
The agreeable ones have 5 fingers. Because they were created in the image and likeness of what the Creator created. But those that have fallen imagine themselves different, so they imagine a 6th finger. And so if you meet a gray or reptile with 6 fingers, stay away from them because they're disagreeable automatically. Just like in the Bible, Og and Goliath, the giants, they had 6 fingers and 12 fingers and 12 toes. And many of you know you've met people that have 6 fingers and 6 toes. Haven't you?
Like Malachi.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. That's true.
Yes.
So you got to ask yourself, where did they come from? They're hybrids.
What is that?
They're mixed reptilian because they're not just all human. You have people with RH negative factor in their blood, right? That is a reptilian trait. They're not human. They're reptilian, but they appear human. Like Marquita Love, she's RH negative factor. That's reptilian blood, don't you see? And it's so unlike humans until they really can't have children with human beings without very, very meticulous medical attention and shots and this and that and the other, right? Because the baby will either die or be mutilated. You follow me? But let me ask you, if somebody with RH negative factors, so are they really different from you? Or do they imagine themselves, or do you imagine them to be different? Is it in everybody's mind? You see, that's the key. Because they're all, like you said, we're all one with all. But people are always searching for differences and not what we have in common. What we have in common is always much greater than perceived differences, don't you see? But people inclined always looking for differences. They strive for it. Women go to a party and they buy a new dress. They see another woman with the same dress on. They get mad and run home and change. Why?
Differences.
Yes, they do.
You should embrace it.
That's right. Because she feels if they have the same dress on, the woman might look, she thinks the woman might look better at it, whatever. You see what I mean? And she's offended, so she runs, oh girl, she got the same exact dress you got on. I'm going home and change. You see?
And you know what? She didn't even realize that was the divine one mind working.
That's what it was. She had the same taste as you at the same time. And what you saw as good, she saw it as good too. And she wanted it just like you did.
Amun.
Yes.
Since we're on the line,
So we gonna look like that?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask
You
you
can
a question.
go.
Are we gonna look like that?
Are we going to look like that? Some of us will.
Yeah, what you just explained to us. Yeah, are we gonna look like that?
Remember, I told you that we will all, this is extraterrestrial project, a plan. Just like you have a solar system, just like the solar system above you, with the sun in the center and the planets revolving around it, you have a central sun in your solar plexus. Solar system, solar plexus. And you have a circulatory system that revolves around that central sun. As above, so below. Your question was again, go ahead. What was your question?
My question was, since we're talking about this,
let me answer. Let me finish this question. I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience. I love you. What was your question again, brother?
The question was that when we get to our future self, that's how we gonna look.
Well, you already are all that. You'll be different because change is the only thing that's consistent. Listen, do you look like you did when you were a baby? You ever look at your baby picture and somebody say, "Oh, what happened to you? You changed, right?" You see a little old woman and then look at a baby picture, you know it's her, but she's changed a lot, right? Wrinkled up, in other words, you say it's hard to look at. But she's still that little...
For real?
Yeah, but she's still that little cute baby is still her. It's the same thing, but she has outward changes in her outward appearance, a manifestation.
So you think we can get back used to that, Amun?
Say it again.
You think we can get back used to looking like that?
Well, I don't know if you get used to it, but that'll be the way it is. You can sit in front of the mirror all day and cry if you want, or you can just go on about your life. Right?
We're going to go back to the water, Moon.
Some of us will. All of us were planted here by different extraterrestrial species from different places in different worlds with different environments. So they came here and they created environments on Earth. Some of them have arid, like desert, some like swamp, some have water, some in the cold, some in tropics. They created different environments and they imported animals and fish and birds and insects that's conducive to where they come from. That's why grasshoppers and praying mantis, for example, are not from Earth. Neither are octopuses. They're not from Earth. They have a much more complicated genome than human beings. They have 9 brains.
Thank you. I always want to know that.
Yeah, they have 9 brains, 1 central brain and 1 in each tentacle. Jellyfish are not from Earth. They don't even have a central nervous system. And jellyfish can rejuvenate, so they don't have to they're immortal. They can just keep being reborn over and over again from the inside. They don't have a central nervous system, but they can feel pain. In other words, if you stick an electric rod in a jellyfish, it'll recoil. But scientists can't understand because they don't have a central nervous system. Don't you understand? Look it up. Don't believe me? Check it out. Please check it out. Jellyfish don't have a central nervous. They're not from Earth, and they know that. But they're here because they're a species of aquatic reptilians that feed off jellyfish. But people can't get near them because the sting of it can hurt or even kill you. But there are reptilian species that live in the water like mermaids. And they feed off the jellyfish. So they got an abundant supply of food for them. That's why they did it. And they transplanted certain trees and foliage to remind them of home. They're trying to recreate the environment that they come from. You follow me? Just like if you move from a certain place, you bring certain pictures and flowers and plants, the same stuff. You're trying to make it look like home again. That's what you're trying to do, right? Something to remind you of home. You know, if you move to... Go ahead.
So...
Okay, go ahead. We got to respect Amun, though. Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I can wait my turn. I write it down.
Just hold it. for a second. Okay,
No, please let her go ahead because I have several questions and everybody needs to get their questions out.
Well, I love you. You all put it together the way you can. I love you. It's you all's class. All right, Helen. She wants you to ask you a question.
Okay. Okay, so if we're falling here, and if the jellyfish came from another planet and extraterrestrials came from...
You see, I'll tell you what you learned. You learned that that's your sister right there.
Yeah, no, and I love it. I definitely love that. Thank you.
You see, that creates love in you. It generates love for you. Because she showed you the face of love. She showed you love, and love brings love. Just like hate creates hate. Right? And resentment creates resentment. Differences create differences. Go ahead. What's your question? I'm sorry.
And it made me so comfortable, too. So thank you, sister, because it did.
I love you.
Right.
And I appreciate
my question is...
Go ahead.
So if we're all... Okay, not saying if we're all, but if there's so many extraterrestrials here, then what's the reason for Earth?
Okay. If there's so many... Slow it down and clear it up. Make sure. See, I got to give you a correct answer. I have to understand exactly what you're asking. Every word. Go ahead.
Okay. For people who love the Earth, I would consider myself one of them. I love it. Yeah, who
people that love the Earth, right?
Right.
Okay.
Is that a bad thing to love the Earth?
No, they may be indigenous to the Earth. Maybe you from the Earth. There are beings here that are from this world, from the Earth, like reptiles that came from the sea, and many of them still live there. Those are the ancient ones. You have the old ones and you have the ancient ones. Reptiles on Earth that originated here, they originated under the water. And like many sea animals, they were washed up in what do you call tsunamis or what have you, and different storms. They were washed up on the land so far that they started developing lungs and legs like the whale. People can take them out the water and doctors examine them. They still have the appendages from when they had legs, and they have lungs too. You know, whales don't have gills. Neither do porpoises or dolphins. They have lungs. So that means that they were all land animals at one time. But evolution, true evolution, is not just superficial surface modification. It's actual changes down to the anatomic structure. Right? What I mean by that is that you had a horse thousands of years ago in prehistoric times when the earth was in the early stages of cooling off and slowing down its rotation. You had a lot of swamp and soft surface. So the horse was only about 3.5 feet tall because the weight would have made it sink, and it had webbed feet to run away, and it could get away from its predators like the saber-toothed tiger. But it evolved into the horse you see today as the earth slowed down and cooled and hardened. So the horse with the longest legs, it was survival of the fittest. The longest legs, they outran the predators. The little bitty horses got caught because they ground out hard for the saber-toothed tiger too. It's like a bat, a bird and a rat. They got eyes and they can see, but they dwell in a cave in the darkness. And like your legs, if you sit in a wheelchair for 10 years, their ability to see was atrophied. They became blind and nocturnal from living in the darkness so long they stopped using their eyes. But they're not blind because there's something wrong with their eyes. nor would you be crippled because you sit in a wheelchair for 10 years. But it would be just like you're blind or just like you're crippled. And you're really crippled now from not practicing moving stars and coming out your body, etc. That's why Malachi said, until you learn to come out your body, you'll never go to heaven. You have to learn to turn yourself inside out in your perspective of what you are. And it also is assured that you know the distinction between your outer self, the illusion, and the real you inside, God. The distinction is very clear, heaven, like I told you earlier. Whatever was created, like your body had a birth date, anything has a beginning, has a what?
An ending.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But the creator has neither beginning nor ending. So you see, that's a difference, a bridge that can never be crossed. You can never, your body, the world can never be the creation can never be equal with the creator ever, in any way, any more than your physical eyes could be equal to your third eye, your all-seeing eye, or the eye of all. It's inferior. It has a much weaker matrix than the third eye. You understand? Everything God's star mover is superior to anything physical or living in an illusion. That's why you can be in the world, but what? Not of it. Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins. But the devil's trying to drive you deeper into the world. You understand? So you can do a lot of...
Can you explain about turning to a spaceship?
Huh?
Can you explain about turning inside out to turn to a spaceship? Do we need a ship since we can turn into a spaceship?
You are a spaceship. When you dream at night, and we have to get to Keeper. We have to get to Amun. This is getting disrespectful. You see, just like she respected us, we have to respect her too. It's mutual. But look, when you go to sleep at night out here, and you dream that you're flying and floating in a dream, do you think that's physical or spiritual?
Spiritual. I stay up in there all the time.
That's right. But that's spiritual. So you turned yourself inside out and you took flight like shams. In other words, when you go to the Holy Tablets, in chapter 7, you can see the diagram of a man turning himself to a ship. You see that? You are that craft. When you're flying, you turn yourself back into a craft. A light vehicle, a sham. That's called astral flight, or OBE, out-of-body experience. Or if you in New Orleans or Mississippi and you dream you're in Las Vegas, how do you think you got there? You didn't walk. Because God can fly, star mover, don't you see? Just
So
like
I've been doing it all the time.
Right. Just like on this, we got three modes of transportation. We can either walk from place to place, or we can fly, or we can just pop there. Just think of it and we're there. You follow me?
I follow.
Right. But to be a place, all you have to do is concentrate on it. In other words, if you're standing in front of your mother as a child and she's telling you something, talking to you about stay out that street playing football, you go whatever, you're talking to her, she's talking to you, and then she say, boy, you're not paying attention to me. In other words, your body is here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town, right? So that means you standing physically in front of her, but your mind is somewhere else. And wherever your mind is, that's where you are. In other words, the way you bilocate is if you think about, see, a birthday party you had when you were 8 years old. You got to start remembering it.
Excuse me, Messiah. It's 10:30. It's 10:30.
Okay,
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I love you. So look, I have to answer Keith's question and finish yours when we get through. Now everybody needs to go out. Everybody to go outside and participate in moving the stars and the moon. Let's go do this exercise. I'm going to turn off this light. Now the people are leaving out of my room here and they're closing the door and I just turned the light out. Now they're going outside this house. They just closed the door. I'm in here in the dark now. Because I'm going to go in my mind and reconnect with you all's mind and see what you see through your eyes. Because I'm going to be using my all-seeing eye. You understand? I can't see what you see with my physical. I can't even see past the floors and walls. But if I go inside, I can see everything because I'm one with all. In the Holy Tablets, he told you that the three members, that the one here and the one there are not two, but what? Somebody. One.
One, Moon, one.
That's why Jesus always said, I and my Father are what?
One.
Right. When you see me, you see the Father. I am from above and you are from below. He wasn't talking about his physical body because he was walking on the ground like everybody else. But he means his higher self, his mind, was vibrating on a much higher frequency. You hear me? So he wasn't really affected by gravity. He could walk on water just like a spirit because he was a spiritual, he was an element to Jazzanet. He was divine incarnated in flesh. To answer somebody's earlier question, yeah, you can be in a physical body and still be a God. It depends on your mind. All right, who's going to be the first one to move something?
Okay, I see a star.
Okay, go ahead, Shell. I see it. What you going to do with it?
In the name of Amun-Rayay, drop down.
You say drop down? Okay.
Yes, drop down. It's moving down.
I see it. And you see heaven. Yep. What we all do is whenever you move something, everybody around the world looks at what you're doing and they confirm it. So you know that you're not imagining it, right? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Now, Cheryl's in London right now. All right, what are you going to do with it now?
Now move up in the name of our moon.
It wobbled a little bit.
Well, the cloud.
It's wobbling to the left. Yeah, it is. But it's going up.
Yeah.
Okay, now what we going to do with it?
Let's move in a clockwise.
Okay.
Let's move. It's going clockwise, going.
You want to bring it closer to you?
Yep.
All right.
That's right now.
All right. Let's bring it closer.
It's moving around.
Yeah, I know it did, but I'm trying to focus.
Yeah.
Okay. And now it's coming closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do with it now? You going to send it back?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Someone else now.
I love you. Heaven, what do you see in Chicago, Heaven?
I'm out. I see a bunch of them.
Okay. Well, just look over your head and see if you, wait a minute, see if you can see one over the top of your head. That you pick out that's all by itself. You see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, I see it too. Now, what are you going to do with it? Make it move left, right, or up and down, or what?
Left.
Left.
Going left. Going left.
Now which way, Kevin?
Wait, hold on. Is that a... Okay, let's
Wait a minute. You see it. Just calm down. You'll see it. Which way? You want me to move to the right now? Let me do it for you. Okay, move right.
Moving right.
All right. Now let it move up.
Moving up.
Moving up.
Kind of wobbling. Okay, we're gonna drop it down now, Helen.
Okay.
You see it going down?
Get up.
Okay, now, Helen, let's make it go in a clockwise circle. How about that, Helen?
Okay, maybe I should pick a different star. I can't tell. Hold on,
okay, you will. Wait a minute. Don't create doubt in your mind. Just open your mind and watch with expectation. Now, just tell it to move in a clockwise circle to the name of Amun. Tell it. We'll do it together. Tell the star, move in a clockwise circle in the name of Amun.
Move in a clockwise circle in the name of Amun.
Or clockwise.
It's moving.
Yes, but it's moving in a circle if you pay attention.
Going side to side and it's going around.
Yeah. Okay, it's over her head, so I'll make you go in a circle over her head.
I see it go up and over around, and it got a halo around.
Yeah, it does. Do you see the moon out there, Heaven?
No. And I'm in the field. No.
You in the car?
No, I'm in a field.
No. You need to get out the car.
No, I'm in a field.
But you're not inside the car, are you?
No, I'm in the middle of a field.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I'm gonna move. Let's move the whole creation. We're gonna make the whole creation swing to the left.
What's the left?
I mean, the clouds are going to the left.
Yeah. Now I'll swing back to the right. Now all creation raise up.
There you are.
Now all creation drop down.
Dropping down.
You have to understand, Heaven, everybody here didn't understand it or see it or could do it the first time either. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of movement.
Say it again.
There's a lot of movement, like they're moving.
That's right. That's good. I had a brother in Rhode Island, John Brown. He wanted to do it and see it so bad. I told him if he comes to me, I'll put my hand on his shoulder and he'll be able to move anything. So he flew all the way here. And I saw him come into the parking lot. So I stood out there with him and put my hand on his shoulder, and he moved everything from that point on. Same thing happened with the tax in Chicago. He came here to visit me quite a few times, and everybody was moving stars and everything around him. He felt so bad. He was going out at night by himself trying. And so I said, son, you really want to do it bad? And he said, yes. So I put my hand on his shoulder, and he's been moving stars and all that ever since. You understand, Heaven?
He told me.
Yes. So everybody don't just because you don't do it the first time, but you don't lose faith. You hear what I mean? You have to believe. You see, you gotta understand. Use your phone, Heaven. Use your phone. You see, we've been programmed to believe that human beings can't move stars. You understand? And we firmly believe that. But as a man thinketh, so is he. If you believe you can't move them, then you refuse to see it. You see, there's none so blind as he or she who refuses to see. But it's happening. They are moving. You do see them moving, but they're moving left and right. See, pick a star out in front of you. You see
I'm
it?
looking at this one.
Okay. Move to the left. Now move back right.
I'm not a chosen one.
You see it, huh?
No.
Okay. Drop down, star. Now, raise up.
Okay, see, that one is raising up. Okay, I don't think I was looking at. Okay, no, this
Okay.
one definitely raised up.
Yeah. But what it is that's in your mind. You're connecting with the universal mind. Are you following me? That's why it's a test for me to see who are the star children, because the star children can pass that test. Are you following? But the fallen angels, they can't do that because to them they think of everything as a physical perspective, and they're just locked into you can't do that. You understand? You can't walk on water. You can't move stars. But Simon Peter believed that anything that Jesus told him he could do it, and so he did. But he began to doubt when he got close to Jesus, because the Sea of Galilee that day, the wind was high and the sea was exceptionally choppy. And for an instant, he cast his glass to the side and saw those waves, and he began to doubt. And he started sinking. When he was close enough to Jesus for him to grab his hand and pull him up and say, "Oh, ye of so little faith," you see. But he had forgot he walked all the way from the boat to Jesus. You understand that? So if you have doubt that you can do a thing, then you follow what I'm saying?
I'm not doubting it though, not at all. And even after today, I'm not doubting.
But then you saw it move then, right?
Yeah, I mean they're moving, but not like when you say left. I don't see left and I don't see right. I just see the earth.
Okay, we're gonna move it left again. Look at whatever one you're looking at, I'll see it. Move left. Now move back right. Now move up. Drop down.
Okay, yes.
I see it. Drop it down.
Okay. And now, somebody in Florida just saw what you did too. You hear me, Heaven? They saw you in Florida, what you did to the Stars in Chicago. You hear me?
I saw it.
You see, they saw it.
I saw it.
We did that together. You hear me, Heaven? And you get better and better. Don't you see what I mean?
Yeah.
What had happened is you had fallen away from that knowledge that you could do those things, that you were a deity, that you were an angelic being. You had forgotten. You had gone to sleep as an Enusite. All right, who's going to be next? Now watch what they do.
I will.
Okay, what are you going to do?
I want to take the whole creation and all creation go up in the name of the Messiah, Amun-Rayay. All creation go up. They're going up. Keep going. Keep going up. All creation drop down.
Drop down?
Yes, drop down in the name of Amun-Rayay. Dropping down fast. Dropping down fast. Go back up and
drop down.
All creation. Stop. What's the right? All creation goes to the right.
All right.
And Amun-Rayay. All creation going to the right.
Go to the right.
Yep, you see it? All creation going to the right. Stop. All creation goes to the left. And Amun-Rayay.
Watch the left.
All creation is going to the left. Stop. All creation is clockwise circle. In the name of Amun-Rayay. All clockwise circle.
It's going clockwise. Sorry, it's like really fast reacting.
How high?
I love it.
I feel it.
All right. What you got in Texas?
How high?
I don't have visibility, Messiah.
All right. Amun, keep reading in Ohio. Say again?
I'm back in Tennessee and I can see.
Okay. You in Tennessee again?
Yes.
All right. I love you. What are you going to move?
I'm going to move a star.
Okay, I see it.
In the name of Amun, move clockwise.
Moving clockwise.
Moving clockwise. In the name of Amun, move to the right.
Moving right.
Moving right. In the name of Amun, drop down. It's going down. In the name of Amun, move to the left. Going left. In the name of Amun-Rayay, raise up.
Raising up.
Raising up.
Raising up.
In the name of Amun, stop. Thank you, family.
I love it.
Love you too.
Anybody else?
I'll go, Messiah.
Okay, come on. Okay, go ahead. Kim in Florida. What are you gonna move?
I'm gonna move the star.
I see it.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, the one on the true Messiah, star, go up. It's going up. In the name of Amun-Rayay, Messiah, the one on the true Messiah, star, drop down. Drop it down. clockwise.
Say it again?
I wanted to go clockwise.
Okay.
Let's go clockwise. Shower hat, exercise.
I love you. All right, family, let's go inside and finish these questions for these family members. I'll tell you what we do, Heaven. We write testimonies about what we learned and what have you, and then they email them to me, and then I post them all over the world. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. You have my email
So
address?
the people on this, yeah,
Go
my
ahead.
email address.
The people
I was going to say
you,
the people on this call, and this is pretty high, everyone. they're able to move. They're able to move the stars.
ask them. All right. She asked you all. Are you all able to move the stars?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Yes.
They've been doing it a long
What
time.
you mean that you helping at the moon, or are we doing it by ourselves?
Yeah, you do it by yourself sometimes, and sometimes I help.
Right.
Yes, Evan, they do move stars. And they do more than that. They come out their bodies, they walk through walls, they do a lot of things. And you will too.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
The more you learn, the more you wake up, the more aware and conscious you become, the higher you vibrate, and the closer to God you start ascending. You start waking up. You start becoming enlightened. You follow me?
Yes.
Like a Buddha or a Jesus. You hear me?
So is there instructions, guys?
Are there instructions?
I mean, like, if it,
No.
you know,
Nobody's written books on moving stars because I am a deity sent here. And
no, not on moving stars.
Yeah, but they with me. I'm thinking outside the box, outside of persons, places, and things. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
I think outside the box. I can answer questions about life after death or extraterrestrials or things like that. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I make the journey within. There's an aspect of my being that can look within. That's why I can stay in a dark room with my eyes closed and move stars with people in Africa. You see?
Right.
But right now, my mind is kind of tired because I've been woke a lot of days. You know what I mean? So I can do better, just like you will do better, and I'll do. This is not my best night either, but we'll do better. You hear me? It'll become very clear to you, and you're gonna shout.
This is a rest moon.
Huh?
I said, you got to take time and get yourself some rest,
Yeah, but I have a lot on my mind, and I'm fighting with these computers. I'm constantly fighting. There's somebody in the computer now, and I called up AVG, Internet Protection, and they were saying they could feel them in the computer. There's somebody in there right now blocking things. You see? So I'm at war with the devil in the open the same way that politically the world is at war with Donald Trump. Whatever you think is happening outside, you're the reflection of what's going on inside. Are you following?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the kingdom of heaven is within you. When you close your eyes and you see that blackness, that is the void, the universe. And it's the canvas upon which you create your images in your imagination. First word of imagination is image. That's why you can close your eyes at night and see the sun in your imagination, right, Heaven? If you want to. Can't you have a daytime dream at night? Where you driving your car in the daytime in Chicago, right? at night?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or you can go inside, you can close your eyes right now and you can see the front of your house or your mother's face if you want to, right? Can't you see your mother right now if you really try to picture her in your mind?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's in your mind, isn't she? She's a permanent resident there. You can visit her inadvertently outside, but she's always in your mind. You see, that's the key. That would be true
excuse me.
even if she had passed away, she would still be alive in your mind. Because your mind is infinite, immortal. You follow? Go ahead.
I have a question.
What's your question? Yes.
So what does the moving of the stars do for those who move it besides being a revelation to others?
What it is exercising the higher aspect of their consciousness.
Right.
Because
that's what I was thinking.
It has become as rust. It has become as rust upon our hearts. Because when you're a fallen angel, you've fallen away from the knowledge of your true potential, of the things you can do. All can, you can. All does, you do. God can move stars. You believe that, right?
Right.
But you just didn't know that you were God. You forgot that, right?
Yeah.
Well, moving stars is one of the best ways moving stars is one of the best ways I can get you to remember, sight, who and what you are. You know?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it's exercising that muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get up out the wheelchair and keep walking so you can run around the block whenever you get ready, you see? I want to get your spirit strong like your legs again, okay? So you can walk with a spirit.
Do you think diet? Oh, I'm going to ask another question. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to take over the call. Anybody else want to ask questions, you can have it.
Okay, I didn't understand what you said.
No, I didn't want to take up all the space and just ask all the questions.
Not all the space, but it's not all the space, but it'd be very respectful if we can go to Sister Keith Amun and beg her pardon. I'm sorry, Amun, if you can remember some of your questions, please, now's the time, please. If you'd have patience with us. Amun, are you here? Keeper. Maybe she dropped off. I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I really apologize. Okay, Heaven, what was your question? Go ahead. Until she comes back or whatever happens.
I forgot what it was. Give me a second. You'll come back to me.
Okay.
Can I say to Heaven that it's not just moving stars every class, it increases with practice and it increases doing other things like the moon, getting your faith in the moon, and it strengthens the spiritual aspect of you. So then other things start to happen. So you do things yourself.
Now you see, you're teaching, Cheryl's teaching like a Jesus or Messiah now. And that's what they're here to learn, to remember to do that. Because disciples have to raise up all the people, don't you see? So they have to go forward and teach and enlighten all the people and answer their questions. So what Cheryl is doing right now is explaining, she's answering your question for you. She's answering why it's important for us to do these exercises every class. Why moving stars is important. You follow, Heaven?
Yes, I do. Yeah, that was the same thing you said. Yeah.
That is the same thing. The truth is always just consistent. That doesn't change.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because once you learn it, you can't unforget it. It's like riding a bike.
I mean, and that, why not make it stronger anyway? So it makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
It's
so you're going to be all...
It's very real. What you can
be
do
all
for
doing it at the
yourself,
same time. That's beautiful.
what you can do for yourself in Chicago is whenever it's a clear night and you're somewhere where the stars are, get out if it's a safe neighborhood and call me. And then we can practice together, just you and I. You hear?
Yes.
Okay. And you'd be amazed at how sharp and clear you get with it. You'd have them zipping all across the sky in no time. You'll be moving the whole creation.
And this is coming from the third eye.
Exactly.
Where is this? Okay. Yes, okay, thank you.
It is coming from the third eye. Right. You see? But people that's physical, using the two physical eyes, they can't see the front of their house when they're inside of it. They can't see their mother whenever they get ready. They can't see stars move because they're physical beings. They're fallen. They cut themselves off from their highest, from their mind's eye, their third eye. Do you understand?
Yes.
That doesn't mean they don't have it. It means that it's not activated. They've fallen asleep. Not from the sky, they've fallen asleep. But they know now.
I remember my question.
Say it again.
I remember my question from earlier. This pertaining to the same thing. So does diet play a part? Do you think, like, being vegan, eating meat, or...
Did you say
I mean,
the
if you get into the diet, yeah.
Yeah, it plays a part. Because if you picture that body, death is real to you, and you fear it. But part of my mission here is to remove the fears of death from people by making them understand that there's no such thing.
I said diet.
Oh, diet? Yeah,
diet, yeah. Sorry.
You don't have a body, so you can't be overweight. Only in your mind. You can't be overweight in the spirit. Do you think your spirit can get overweight because you eat physical cake?
No, I was thinking as far as like meat.
So you see, spiritual beings don't have weight problems when they're really spiritual because they eat and sleep very little, you understand? Because they don't think of themselves as a physical being. So they're fed spiritually by divine love and working this mission for the Most High, doing the Creator's work. They don't work for the creation, they work for the Creator of it. They have a higher goal and a higher mind, and thereby they vibrate on a much higher frequency. They become part of the universal mind again. They already are, always are, and always will be, but if they don't know it, they're blind as a bat. You understand? Or like somebody sitting in a wheelchair for 10 years, they can't run or walk. You understand? Because they don't exercise those legs or eyes. And through non-use, it's grown like rust on their hearts. It's no good to them anymore. You follow me, Kevin?
Yeah.
So you have to constantly exercise your eyes and your legs in order to keep them functioning properly, right? Like Cheryl said, yeah, that's what Cheryl was telling you right there. You hear me? In her own words, she was communicating the exact same truth. See, the sister that told you that, Cheryl in London, last time she was moving stars, she moved the trees and the buildings too. Do you understand? And I know it's real because I've done it many times. moved the street lights and the trees and the telephone poles and everything. The sky. But it's like she said, we started off moving clouds and putting your face in the moon and then making it go in circles and then making them come closer and then moving over. We started baby steps working up and until we got bigger and bigger, doing more and more, you see? But there is no X, Y, and Z without A, B, C. It's a gradual...
I totally understand.
Right? You understand? Because right now we're starting off like little babies, genocytes of physical beings, and they only use their physical eyes and their physical ears, or they think they do, but they're God all the time, but they don't acknowledge it, right? Haven't you ever stood next to a girlfriend or a friend and somebody was talking to them and they was telling them lies, convince them of something, and you told them, can't you see he's lying? Remember that? Kevin?
Somebody else have.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let me tell, how do you see a lie? With your physical eyes or with the eye of God? But they just don't realize it.
With the eye of God.
That's right. That's right. But they forget, they don't realize that's what they're doing. When they're in the kitchen talking to themselves, they don't understand that they are dual being, that their higher self is talking to their lower self. And their child said, Mama, who you talking to in there? I'm in there talking to myself, baby. And the child is confused. He runs in the kitchen and looks and see because he thinks it's going to be two people in there. But it's only one person. So he's confused. I'm in there talking. What is she talking about? Ain't nobody in there but you, Mama. Who are you talking to? It's more the mama that meets the eye, baby. There's an unseen part of me that's real in the parts of me that you can see. I know you can see Mama's arms and legs and my head and all that, but you can see my eyes, but there's something realer than that inside of me. He who was within you is greater than he who was in the world, don't you see? All these things will start making a lot more sense to you the more you wake up and inclined to elevating in consciousness.
Amun, I think Heaven asked the question earlier about diet and meat.
Okay,
Is that right, Heaven?
Answer it.
Yes.
Heaven, did you answer that?
Yes, I'm listening. Yeah, hi.
Okay, so you asked about food and meat. Okay, I didn't understand the question, so ask it again, please. If I don't understand it, please interpret for me, Cheryl. Ask the question again, please, about diet and meat.
My question was, does diet play a part in like raising the frequency and we're just say strictly meat?
Yes.
Does meat play a part in raising the frequency as higher level?
Yes, very much so. In fact, meat lowers your vibrations. The blood in meat brings out the beast in you. When you were a spiritual being in the heavens, you didn't have to eat meat. You didn't have to eat food because you had no physical body. But now that you dropped down and spiraled down in frequency and took on clothing of flesh, then you become carnal. And the beautiful birds, like a chicken, now you think of ways to plot to kill them so you can cook them to eat them to quench that hunger in your belly. Because now you can feel hunger and all these different things and desires and all these things that make you carnal. And that brings out the devil in people, you understand? Because now they live by Rehoboam, where they have to destroy in order to live. The devil lives by Rehoboam, the science of destruction. They cut down and killed trees in order to build houses. They kill animals in order to eat. Do you understand what I mean? They kill people to gain territory. They kill people to steal their diamonds and their, you understand what I mean? To take their territories. That turns them into devils. They get very physical and carnal. They'll do anything to their brothers and sisters for earthly, worldly gain. You understand? Money, money, money. Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
They'll kill their own
So
brothers.
then it would be the better decision then to not eat meat, as
Of course.
yes.
Gods don't eat meat. Only vegetables and fruit, especially fruit. Why the gods ate fruit all the time? Because they could pick them off the trees and they never hit the ground or the dirt. They were considered pure from the air and the rain. And they are. And they would only eat fruit from the garden. You understand? When you were first created as a human being, or at the advent of the fall, you didn't even eat until you started realizing what hunger pains were. And just like a thirsty man in the desert, they didn't give you a lot of water to drink, it would make you sick. So they had to break your digestive system in by giving you reishi mushroom first. Something mild on your system so you can ingest it. So you can get used to swallowing and chewing and digesting food to make the hunger pains go away because you never experienced them before. You understand? You wouldn't always like the way you are, Heaven. You hear me?
Right. Yes.
You changed yourself and your environment because you changed your mind, you see?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I just think society can make that a little bit more difficult to choose from, considering all the different ideas that's out there as far as nutrition.
It's divine. You incline toward becoming spiritual with diet.
Yeah.
And that's one of the prerequisites of disciples is discipline in the root of the word disciple. Because if you're disciplined with food and you're not a gluttonous person and you don't have to have it, then that's a sign that your higher self is beginning to tame your lower self. You're overcoming, right? But if a person is weak to carnality, they could be a 600-pound woman going to Kentucky Fried Chicken, and she getting out that car and scraping on the bottom of the concrete already. She's so fat her legs rubbing together about to make a fire, and her feet, her shoes look like they swallowed like biscuits busting out of a can. But she come out with a 12-piece, huffing and puffing and sweating, and waddled into the car and sitting down and broke the front seat and got big bricks behind her to sit up. And she breathing and huffing and puffing and eating up all that chicken, looking at you with her eyes like, what you looking at? And because she want to eat up all the chicken before she go home so nobody won't ask her for none of it. You understand? Because she wanted all for herself. That's not divine. That's moving in the other direction like a greedy devil for money or anything else. Desire is the root to fire. Desires lead to all hell. It's carnality that makes a man or a woman fall. You ever hear of a fallen woman? They're not making reference to her falling down and tripping on the sidewalk. That means she fell in grace. Like an old man and an old woman looking out their picture window and they see boys and girls coming from school, passing by from elementary school up to junior high through high school, and they can tell who's smart, who's well kept and groomed, who combs their hair and takes care of themselves. And then when they get out of high school, they start looking out the window and the same people walk by and they unkempt. they got lint in their hair, and it's not combed, and they run from car to car, and they look like they're not bathing or hygienic. They on crack or drugs, and they say, "Oh, look at them! She sure is going down." They don't mean she's walking down into a hole. They mean that she's going down in her temperament, in her conscience, in her mind, in her perspective. She's not thinking from a higher mind like a God. Because she's so physical and carnal, she really thinks she has to have this drug, and it's become her God. You understand? Her physical body has become her master. So she's no longer using her body is using her. There are some people that have fallen so low that money has become like a god to them. They call it mammon. Look it up. Mammon is money, the god of money worship. Would you classify Donald Trump as somebody that worships mammon? Do you think that he would have something done bad to you, Kevin, just for money? Yes or no?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Yeah, for $10 million, he'll have you and everybody you know destroyed, right?
No.
There's people out in the streets. There's people right there in Chicago right now. If you walk down the street minding your own business, if they know you got $10,000 in your purse, then people will attack you and try to hurt you just to get your money. You hear what I'm saying? In fact, you couldn't be that comfortable around your own family members. If they knew you had $50,000 on your person, it would be hard to go to sleep anywhere. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because they think carnal, they think like the devil. You understand? And you look just like a chicken to a hungry woman, a hungry man. They start thinking about how to bust you in your head or whatever to satisfy their desire or their greed. They lose their soul, which is the ability to have compassion for their brothers and sisters. They sell their soul to the devil for money. When you hear about somebody selling their soul to the devil, don't you ever wonder what that means? Any of you, do you wonder?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now imagine somebody like Kanye West. Before he was rich and famous, he's in Starbucks talking to a big music producer. And the man has a $10 million contract in front of him, and he's poor in the projects. And then he goes to the big thing with him, the speech. Yeah, I can give you this right now. We know you got the talent, and this, that, and the other. But we got to know you with us. You got to sell your soul. How does he do that? Look, we're going to arrange to send you to Hawaii for 2 weeks. While you're gone, your mother's going to have an unfortunate accident. You don't have to participate in killing her, but you got to be part of it by knowing. And after it's over, you get the $10 million on the contract, you'll be rich and famous. Rosemary's Baby. So he goes off to Hawaii, and his mother goes to have a minor topical surgery, like injections of, you know what they do to make their cheeks full and whatever. And somehow or another, some medical complications come because the doctor's with them, like the doctor that injected Michael Jackson, and his mother dies during the little minor Botox surgery. So they call Kanye way up and Hawaii and say, Kanye, The party was successful. That was the password, right? And so he comes home and goes to his mother's funeral, and he starts crying like everybody, louder than everybody else. Oh, mama! Oh, but deep in his heart, he knows that in order to get that $10 million contract, he had to be a party to his mother's death. And a lot of people become rich and famous like that. They sold their soul to the devil. It's not that you can put it in a can and sell it like a product, a physical product. A soul is not physical. But that's how people sell their soul to the devil. They'll be Judas to Jesus. They'll be Judas to Jesus. They'll do anything for 33 pieces of silver. They'll sell their soul.
Come back on that.
Huh?
Is there any comeback on that?
Yes. There's a comeback. You have to repent and promise never to return again like a dog to his own vomit. Just like it was with the harlot that slept with the married man. Only thing I found wrong with the story is why didn't they want to stone the man? Because he was an adulterer too, right? But anyway, it was their way back then to stone a woman to death if she was caught committing adultery. They put her on the rock pile and everybody was getting ready to stone her to death. A very violent, painful way to die. Jesus was there that day. And the disciples said, Master, what are you going to do about this? And he said nothing, but he stooped down in the sand and he started drawing figures with his finger in the sand while he was thinking. Then he stood up and very quietly he said, he didn't try to stop them from hitting that woman with them rocks. What he said is, let who among you that is without sin cast the first stone. Shit, you can hear rocks dropping all through the valley because there was nobody out there without sin. But he had to make them see that. You understand? Judge not, lest ye be judged. You understand?
Yes.
Now, I'll tell you something. We didn't get a chance to go into what I wanted to go into about the serpent family, the serpent seed. But it's going to be two parts to that. That'll be Sunday and next Thursday, at least, in order to get this whole thing clear. Because it's a powerful revelation. It's very powerful. So you all need to get together and post up the posts you get from me in LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and mass emails, and word of mouth. Go and do your job as a disciple and be disciplined and put all your energy like Chief Amun did into that mission today, and all the headache and misery went away. Because you can't be in hell as long as you're in heaven, don't you know that? If you work for the devil, the reward is going to be hell, because that's all he's got to offer. What does the devil have? The devil's been cast out of heaven. He ain't got no heaven to give nobody. It's an illusion. A lie. One thing about heaven is it's eternal. Nothing worldly is eternal. Everything that has a beginning, like you said, has an end. But the gift of the Most High will never be cut off, because the Creator deals in infinite terms, infinity, forever. That's the real gifts. But people selling sugar for shit, they major in minors. They thought it was a real thing for smoking goddamn mirrors, for snake oil, for BS. And they think they win it. But suppose a man or a woman spend their life doing ugly things, blow down things for money, and then when they get old, not that they have to get old in order to die, but the inevitable happens. They run out of time, and for whatever reason, they end up in the mortuary. And that's a fact. It's coming. Because if they're physical, they're going to experience the second death. They may have an elaborate funeral, glass coffins and jewels and all that, white horses, but dead is dead. And so when they drop in that hole, everybody around them that they were doing that for to show off for, that's not love. That's jealousy and admiration. When they bury them, those people have to use the bathroom, they get hungry, they get uncomfortable, and so they want to go home. So the dead man or woman is only going to hear at that point footsteps walking away from them. Don't you know that? I don't care who it is. Even your damn dog will stay there on that grave longer than people will. Your family, your dog will stay there longer, more loyal. And all those people that you thought cared about you, only thing he's going to be doing, no matter how close a family they are, is arguing all the way home about who will get what of what you left behind. It's a cold-blooded cycle, you hear me? Perpetual hell. It feeds on itself. Its breath is wide, its heat is hot, and its fuel is many men and stones. It's the fire kindled by the Most High that rises above the heart. Hell is a smokeless fire. It burns like a heroin addict, but nobody can see a flame. But trust me when I tell you it's hot. Oh, it gets hot. But you have to sell your soul to be a heroin addict. Because you have to turn your feelings off when your arm tells you got to steal your mama's television while she's in the shower. So when you're running out the back door with the television and go and hock it, you got to fight back the tears and pretend like you in heaven when you're getting high. Except it's hell. Because the first time you took heaven, you felt some euphoria. You felt elated. You felt like you were high. And the more you took it, you found out that it took more in order to make you feel the same thing you felt at first, and it had to come in quicker intervals. So your habit grew bigger and bigger like a monkey turning into a gorilla on your back. And so now you got to spend $200 a day on heroin, and you no longer feel good. You have to spend $200 a day just to keep from getting sick. That's hell. And you burn it. And fire is insatiable. It's unquenchable. You can take one match and burn down an entire city. As long as it's got something to feed on, it'll keep roaring. All it needs is fuel. And when that fire is feeding off men and women, that's hell. And it's getting bigger and bigger, like that habit. And if they ever get caught stealing or get locked up, they got a kick, and they can die from the violent side effects. They're so sick, they're sick as a dog. They're so sick up to death. And it hurts. The cramps and the pain of withdrawal. They're in hell, like an alcoholic suffering DTs and seeing bats come out the wall. Delirium tremors. It ends up in hell, in hell, in hell. They're creating their own hell right here on earth. Trapped inside the mud of their own flesh, they generate and create hell inside their mind. You asked me about alcohol earlier. Everybody knows that the jinn is another word for the devil. Most of them call the demons the jinn. Ladies and Gentile men. Well, when you go to get liquor, it's called the gin mill. It's evil because you see you got spirits of alcohol. If you look at the whiskey bottle, it says it's got spirits, 86 proof spirits. You ever saw that, Evan?
Yes.
The word spirits on the liquor bottle? Heaven, are you here?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the word? Have you ever seen the word spirits on the liquor bottle?
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, it's on there,
Not
right?
only on the liquor bottles, but they.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
On the actual place where they sell it.
You see, and the word spirits on there, spirits of alcohol. So they know that that's an evil spirit, a jinn, a devil.
No, I definitely know that.
Yeah, look at the liquor bottle. It's going to see on there spirits of alcohol. That's right, the gin is in that alcohol. Because what it does is it releases a person's inhibitions. And they'll do things that a sober person wouldn't do. They'll start fights and get bold, and they'll do all kinds of, they'll turn to a devil. Have you ever gone out with a friend and are having a good time at a club and y'all drinking? Then about 5 drinks later, you look over at your friend and they done already expressing everything to change. And you're like, what the fuck you looking at? You like, what? What happened to my friend that I came here with? They got possessed. Because when they drunk so much, they got past the limit of control. When they lost control of themselves, a walk-in or a jinn possessed them and took over their body. An evil being walked in and took over. You got it? Look, I love you all. And, Patah, I'll call you with the name for this class. I love you all, and I'll see you Sunday, and we'll start on the real revelation I have for you all, okay?
Love you too, Messiah.
All right, family? I love y'all. I love y'all more. Are you all waking up? Am I just talking, or am I just talking, or you all understand what I'm saying?
We understand what you're saying.
I understand.
Well, then you waking up. You waking up. I love you. Amun-Rayay. Peace.